Okay, guys, so I had a question actually from a couple former athletes of mine, and so I wanted to make this video to answer your Jim and Ryan. I wanted to answer your questions, and I wanted to make a video because I don't typically like writing. I'd rather do the video. I can get it done quicker, and I can feel like I can be more effective and talk to you that way. So the question is post being an athlete, how to kind of fend off against putting on extra fat. You're not getting the same amount of exercise, you're not getting the same amount of structure in your life, and in that way you're starting to add on more fat, and you're having trouble keeping up with maybe old habits. Maybe you're going out to eat too much, or you're just not picking the right things. So what we're going to do is kind of outline your thought process a little bit and try to see where that habit that's not effective, that habit that's not adding anything of benefit to you, and we're going to try to change that. So what we have is we're going to create a more effective habit, and my chair's in the way, so I'm just going to move that. But so what the less effective habit is again, we have we're going out to eat too much. All right, so out to eat too much, and maybe poor choices. All right, and so what we want to do is we want to figure out why we're doing that. And so maybe we don't have the structure that we used to, or we're not planning out our meals. Maybe we don't have just the schedule that we're used to. So typically, whenever we're going out to eat too much, that means we're not planning well, and we're being not so careful with our money, and we just are focusing more on immediate kinds of, I call them pleasurable experiences, immediate satisfaction, instead of focusing on our long-term goals. So you two were wrestlers at one point, and so same thing. You don't want to sacrifice your long-term goals for immediate satisfaction. So we want to look at the long-term goal by creating more of a plan. So we can create a calendar and a plan for food. So we're going to just mark off on our calendar, write down the kinds of things that we're going to go grocery shopping to get. We're not going to stray too far from those things. Again, the 95 or the 85-15 rule, 80-20, 90-10, somewhere in there is going to be good. But we're going to stay to a plan, and we are going to execute that plan. So what we want to do is, so we figured out the bad habit. We figured out why is typically planning or short-term focus. All right, and so next we want to figure out its effect on our life. So we want to see what the feeling of change is. So if you can imagine changing your habit in picking up planning your grocery list, planning your meals ahead of time, planning out your week or your month. All right, what would that feel like? And now, be more specific than good. You got to really dig within yourself here. And this is going to be more of a personal thing, something that I can't get the exact answer that you may have. But the feeling of change in your life is going to feel like something along the lines of accomplishment or pride. All right? And so what we want to look at is the different aspects of our life that this is going to affect. And I'll move over here. We want to look at the different aspects of our life that this is going to affect. And so again, you're asking yourself these new questions. How is this feeling of accomplishment or pride, or even just being, getting my old athletic, muscular, toned body back, how's that accomplishment and that pride going to affect my life? And so maybe it'll give you more energy, more confidence to go talk to girls, or go, just accomplish something that you may want to do with your career. Energy and confidence are two huge things that something like your body can affect inside your mind, and it may not allow you to create a more empowering belief for yourself. All right? How would that, would it affect your family life at all? Would it affect your relationships? Things like that. Now, we have the feeling of making the change, but what's the feeling of staying the same? All right? So what's the feeling of staying the same? You might feel down on yourself or depressed or just overwhelmed, all this can really be summed up into stuck, is a way people would typically describe something like that. Okay? So again, we're going to go through this exact same process here where we created energy and confidence for ourselves. Sorry guys, I cut off there. That's what happens whenever you make a video on your phone. So what we were talking about is we created a feeling of staying the same as opposed to the feeling of making a change. What we decided was we'd feel confident, proud in ourselves, which would give us more energy, confidence, and through energy and confidence we can achieve more things. All right, achieve better things in our life, start to improve our career path, our self path, things like that. So you may be feeling down, depressed, or overwhelmed. If you don't make that change and you stay where you are right now, maybe you're not feeling the confidence in your body that you should, and so you might feel like you have no control, like you have a lack of energy. Maybe you feel like it's putting a stress on your relationship. All right, these are all things that are going to hold you back, and they're not going to allow you to expand on yourself, allow you to take those bigger, better steps in life. So, next we have the what, we have the why, we have the feeling of change. Now we want to figure out when we do this, all right? So we got to pinpoint when we do this. So again, we want to go back to what we decided was the main issue, which was the planning, all right? And so if we don't have a plan and we haven't picked out our food for the night and we haven't made that commitment to ourselves, then you're going to have impulses whenever you become hungry and you don't have the correct foods to fuel your body healthily, all right? So we want to get just impulse, hunger, or social is typically when we start to make these impulse decisions to go out with our friends to eat, to go out with our family to eat, whenever we don't have a plan, whenever we don't have a goal, all right? And we're going to get to that next step. So it's an impulse, hunger, or social decision, and how can we change that? So the change is going to come whenever we set the goal along with our planning. So the goal is to plan our foods that we're going to shop for, all right? So the goal is to have a schedule. So we can then achieve having energy and confidence to create bigger, better things for ourselves in our lives. So we have the energy and confidence is our goal to make a schedule. And then what we want to do is set that schedule by having a system. So we want to have a healthy grocery list. We want to plan in advance. And we want to prep in advance, because that way whenever you skip a meal, then you have that extra food and you realize that it's there for a reminder as feedback that you have gone off track a little bit. And so that kind of refocuses the dial, kind of refocuses your picture and gets you back to what you want to achieve, which is right here, the energy and the confidence through planning by creating a schedule and doing a grocery list. Now the last step is the biggest one, is that you got to actually take the action, guys. And so this is where most people, you may know all this. You may be going through this video and thinking like, this is just Coach Wayne saying a bunch of stuff that anyone could really throw out there. But this is, you might need to be told that you need to start taking action. And now you have the action steps to actually do that. Most people fail because they don't take that last step. Anytime that you don't achieve something that you want to achieve, you got to come back to here. Figure out, did you take the right actions at the right times? Did you have a goal, create a system to get you to take that action, and did you make that action? So, guys, I hope this video helped you. I hope that you can go through this process. If you have any questions, come back at me. And, yeah, really hope it helped you. And talk soon, guys.